Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about the parental care in amphibians. So, amphibians are the first class of organisms which starts to show the parental care in among vertebrates, right? So, amphibians, what are amphibians? Just let's see. So, amphibians are ectothermic tetrapod vertebrates of the class Amphibia. All living amphibians belong to group Lys Amphibia. They inhabit a wide variety of habits, with most species living within terrestrial, forestal, arboreal, freshwater, aquatic. We already know that the amphibians can live both in land and water. Now, there are many groups among amphibians. This is Apoda, and this is the group of salamanders or newts, which is known as Urodela, and this is the anurans. So apoda are the limbless, scaly, um, worm-like structures, which are also known as blind worms, right? They don't have eyes to see, and they have scales upon their bodies, and they are worm-like, have no legs. So it could be ichthyophis. It's, I think, ichthyophis. Another example. There are other examples too. Now, among Urodela, the newts and salamanders come. They have, of course, the limbs. They have two pair of limbs and a tail. And examples are, of course, salamanders, newts, and etc. Anurans have these frogs and toads, which are tailless. They don't have tails, but they have, of course, limbs, and they are most evolved among these amphibians. So let's go to the next slide. So, looking after the eggs of the youngs until they are independent to defend from predators, known as parental care. So this is the definition of parental care, that is when you look after the eggs youngs. They are independent to defend from predators, known as parental care. Amphibians show a great diversity in parental care. It can either be direct or indirect. Now, it is important, like I said before, the amphibians are the first group of organisms among vertebrates that has started to show some kind of parental care, taking care of their eggs, of their little ones. And the reason behind this is that for to increase their chances of survival, to for the continuity of their species, they try their best to protect their children so that the continuity of the species could continue, right? So let's go to the next slide. Now, parental behavior is any behavior performed after breeding by one or both parents that contributes to the survival of the offspring, right? So parental care, of course, is a behavior that is performed in order to increase the survival of the offspring. Parental care is form of altruism, that is unselfish concern for others, not generally seen in animals. I mean, lower vertebrates or invertebrates. In some cases, in fishes generally, they are vertebrates too. But in fishes, you could see that the parents eat their own eggs, right? So, just opposite to that, there is altruism, where that is cannibalism, and this is altruism, where there is unselfish concern for others. In this case, for the offsprings, and spending time and energy to aid its offspring. The degree of parental care varies considerably from species to species and depends upon the number of offspring produced. Now, there are 6 modes of parental care: egg attendance, where they take care of the eggs; transport, where they settle the eggs in a suitable condition where they would be safe. Third is tadpole attendants, take care of the tadpoles. Tadpole transport, they transport the tadpole, take the transport and deposit them in a watery or suitable watery place so they be safe and they would get all the things they need. Fifth is tadpole feeding, Sixth is internal gestation in the oviduct. Now, in general, what happens is that fertilization is external, but in some cases, internal gestation takes place in the oviduct of the female, right? So that means that some part of the development, the early development, takes place within the oviduct of the female, so that's kind of safe. So these are the 6 modes of parental care. Now, parental care increases the chances of survival. Parental care increases the chance of survival. Here's an example, important example. Male remain with the eggs in Rhinoderma darwini. This is also known as Darwin's frog. Darwin's frog. So Rhinoderma darwini takes them in vocal sacs till hatch. So what happens is the female lays eggs and the male frog engulfs them, eat them up. They just engulfs them and keep them in their vocal sac. Okay, and then when they hatch, when they metamorphose from tadpoles into adult frogs, he just vomits them out, kinda. So let's see a video about that.
Usually dinner. Just ask any tadpole. These teeming and tasty treats are a favorite meal for bugs, fish, and even each other. It's a rare, tough pollywog that grows up to crawl out of the water. In its forest home of South America, the Darwin's frog resembles an overweight leaf. But not all that extra weight is its own. The male's vocal sac is reserved for another purpose, raising his young. The female will lay 3 to 7 eggs. Those that hatch into tadpoles are gulped up by the father until they're ready to fend for themselves. Inside his vocal sac, they transform into miniature versions of their old man. It's a sheltered life. They don't get out much, but they make it out alive.
Okay, so we saw about the video about the Rhinoderma darwini. Now, in which the male keeps the tadpoles in his vocal sacs till they mature. The second is, of course, Eulotherodactylus that sits on its eggs, right? So this is Eulotherodactylus, and the male sits on its eggs. This is a kind of parental care as well. Now, parental care in apoda. Apoda, I already told you, they are the limbless, worm-like creatures which have scales upon their body and worm-like. Parental care in apoda. So, calcaceans, they are also known as calcation, exhibit parental care. The female coils around the egg clutch and periodically rotates it till the eggs hatch. The mother calcation does not take any food during the parental care period. So here you can see this is ichthyophis. Ichthyophis. The ichthyophis females just goes round its eggs and just rounds and sits there without eating anything and just protects in order to protect its eggs. So here it is, the female ichthyophis glionosa will dig a hole in the moist soil near a pond. It will deposit eggs in it. Around this egg mass, the mother will coil and protect the egg mass from the enemies. So that's about ichthyophis. Now, thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we'll talk about some more amphibians. Please like and subscribe.